Roma, what an amazing movie. What did you guys set out to do? I mean, Ben-Hur was a classic 59 movie made in the 50s. What was the idea? What were you thinking?
What were we thinking? It's like there's such a boldness, I know, taking on a beloved classic like Ben-Hur. But remember, my husband and I were also the producing team that took on the Bible. We are committed to bringing to the screen stories of hope, stories that raise up faith and shine some light in the darkness. And this story, Ben-Hur, is one of the great stories based originally on the novel Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ by Lew Wallace, adapted for the big screen by the great John Ridley. John Ridley, of course, won the Oscar for writing 12 Years a Slave. It's a beautiful story. The other movie hasn't been told for 55 years, and the world has changed so much since then, and cinema has changed so much. So between the two studios, MGM and Paramount Pictures, and all of the incredible people involved to bring this to the screen, we just felt the time was right for Ben-Hur to hit the big screen this summer.
It's really two stories. One is a story of Judah, and the other one is a story of Jesus, and the intersection of those two stories. We're really getting to the crux of Christianity here, aren't we?
I think so. Well, you know, I think what makes it fresh, though, in terms of a faith film, it's really not a faith film. It's an action-adventure drama. But it does have a story of faith because we follow the life of Judah Ben-Hur. And so when we get to meet Jesus, we really get to meet him through the eyes of Judah Ben-Hur. So it's almost like Judah just accidentally bumps into Jesus, but of course that accidental meeting will change his life forever.
Talk about some of your casting choices. You have some wonderful actors in here. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, of course, we have the great Morgan Freeman, who needs no introduction, I'm sure, to your audiences. Brilliant in this role, as he always is. We have a young, about-to-be huge star in Jack Huston. You know, this is a star-making role for him, stepping in to the rather large sandals of Charlton Heston. But Jack does an amazing job, and he's athletic. He was able to do all the physical drama required. He has strength and passion, and yet he also brings an incredible vulnerability to the moment when Judah is broken. He does a great job. Matching him beat for beat is Toby Kebbell. They have great on-screen chemistry together. And how could we not mention the beautiful Rodrigo Santoro, the great Brazilian movie star who's playing Jesus in this film. He brings not just a strength, but an honesty, and not just an honesty, but a stillness. And it's almost like time stops when Rodrigo comes on the screen. He has a directness and a gentleness that's so effective in this role.
If I'm not mistaken, in the original, the 50s movie, you don't really see Christ's face, right?
That's right. So a real decision was made here that we wanted not just to see Jesus and to hear Jesus speak, but to really sense Jesus as a character, so that you, the audience, would get to know him. And that's a big difference from the 59 film.
Now, Jack Huston, he's complete Hollywood pedigree, you see.
Yes, he is. He's like the royal family of acting, isn't he, Jack Huston? And he's so handsome. The girls just love him, and that never hurts to have that quality in a leading man. In fact, our two leading men are you know, we've got a lot of gorgeous on the screen, and our beautiful Nazanin Boniadi playing Esther. She's really the conscience of the piece, the moral compass of the piece. So there's something for everybody in this movie, you know. It's got an epic scale. It has a chariot race that will leave you breathless. It has romance. It's dangerous. It's a great big film, and yet it holds within it this beautiful story about forgiveness, about reconciliation. And let's face it, we live in very scary times. Look what's going on in the world that we live in. It's so dangerous out there. I think as filmmakers, we have a responsibility to put a little bit of light on the screen to give people a little bit of hope.
You shot in Rome at Cinecittà, which is where the original film was shot, and also where Jack Huston's grandfather.
Yes.
John Huston.
I know, if the walls of Cinecittà could talk, I wonder what they would have been saying. We had an extraordinary time there. Such a legacy for our film. We also had a number of people in our crew whose parents worked on the 59 film. The horse trainer, a very critical role in Ben-Hur, that chariot race, the most famous scene from the movie. Our horse trainer, his father was the horse trainer in 1959, and our hair and makeup artist, his father was the hair and makeup artist in 1959. So there was lots of history in the making of this film, and Italy served as the perfect location, although I wish the food hadn't been so good. I ate my way through the entire shoot of the film, and so everything about it was great except my waistline.
The story deals with Rome, which was a very corrupt and full of greed, and today it's no different. Has anything changed?
Well, you know, there's a great line in the movie that Pontius Pilate has. After the race is won and Morgan Freeman's character goes back to Pontius, they have placed a bet on the race. So now Ilderim, played by Morgan, has won. Pontius Pilate has lost. And Ilderim apologizes. He says, "I'm sorry, you lost." And Pontius Pilate looks at the crowd who are going crazy. You know, this sort of bloodlust from this great big epic race in the stadium. And he said, "I didn't lose. Look at them. They're all Romans now." You know? And you think, gosh, how much has changed in 2,000 years? Not that much, you know. Human nature, unfortunately, doesn't change that much. But it's I think the film feels fresh. That's important. It feels relevant for an audience today. And for anybody that has a memory of 59, I encourage them to keep an open mind, keep an open heart to come in. And for all the new generation, this film will leave you breathless.
Why Timur?
Timur Bekmambetov is one of the great directors able to achieve a film that feels both epic and intimate. We wanted a director that could really bring this action to a place where you don't feel like you're watching it on the screen. You feel like you're in it. You know, you feel by the end of this race that the dust in your face, you can almost taste the dirt in your mouth. He has created a scene that is just so tangible and gritty. And he's one of the kindest directors I've ever worked with, which I value. I think it brings out a great performance in actors. And he's so creative and visual and has such an imagination.